Hi guys, and welcome back to First Turn in 10, a video series where we look at the first turn or first 10 minutes of a game so you guys can have a better idea whether you think it is for you or not. Today we're having a look at a game called Maquis. Maquis is a solo worker placement game, which I think is pretty cool in itself. It is set in Nazi-occupied France, and we are a team of resistance fighters or workers, depending on how you want to look at it, trying to complete missions and push back and just create annoyances for the occupation forces. We have our milice, which are kind of like our paramilitary organization, and then we have the soldiers, the German soldiers, which can also show up at some point. This is not a rules video. We will be just going through the game, showing you the flow so you can see what you'll be doing turn to turn. And today we're having a look at the first two missions that the game recommends, which is Milice Parade Day, where we have to deliver a gun to the parade on 3-6 on the turn order 3-6-9 12 14, and we also have to graffiti certain parts of the town to intimidate. Who are we intimidating? The local commander of these forces. Now, how do we go about this? They're just two of the missions. There are a whole swathe of other missions and even extra hard missions on the big cards. How do we go about this? Well, what we're doing on our turn is we start the game with 3 workers or 3 resistance fighters, however you want to say, and we're going to move to certain parts of the town and do certain things. So what I'm actually going to do is let's begin the Officer's Mansion quest. We're going to start graffitiing the town, and we have to graffiti Pont-Levenque, Pont-du-Nord, and Rue Baradat up here. So let's move one of our workers straight to Pont-Levenque, and he's going to try and do some graffiti. What we then do is we spawn a patrol card. So what we look at is from the top to bottom, we see which area is free. So I know straight away Radio B is free, so we spawn a milice in Radio B. Then it's our turn, and what else? So we're going to have to do some graffitiing. We might also try and get more workers. So how we do that is we'll go to the grocer, which will generate us a food. And the way we get an extra recruit, I suppose, is we bring that food to the cafe and we can recruit an extra worker. We'll spawn the next milice and they go to Radio A. So we'll put them on Radio A. And then the last person, I think, what we might try and do is... they've blocked off our radio support, so we can't call in support. We'll get to that when we eventually trigger that, if we get to trigger that. The last person, what I think we'll do is we'll actually graffiti Pont-du-Nord as well. And I'll tell you why, because on the last, we'll do the last spawn first before we get too far. Okay, so they're going to spawn at the fence. Excuse me, let's move that up there. At the fence. So the fence is up here. So that's wonderful. Now, the only way we can succeed in these little mission areas is if we can make a clear route back to the safe house. So every time one of these guys spawns, we have to be careful that they don't spawn in a way that blocks us getting back to the safe house at night. So in any turn, it doesn't really matter what turn order we do it. So we're going to graffiti Pont-Levenque. This guy successfully can get home, so he can graffiti Pont-Levenque. This guy, Pont-du-Nord, he can get back both ways, actually. So he can come this way or he can come this way. So he comes all the way home, and he has successfully graffitied Pont-du-Nord. And we have gone to the grocer, and we've got some food, so we collect our food token. So he comes home. Now, that's what you'll be doing on your turn. Very simple, very basic, I know right now, but the puzzle hasn't really revealed itself just yet. So now we come to the end, we do cleanup. So we clean up all the milice. They all go home for the night. They think everything's working. Nothing's suspicious happening around this town so far. We progress the turn tracker to the next turn, and we go again, essentially. So we've done 2 out of the 3, so we need to graffiti Rue Baradat, but Rue Baradat is quite far away from our safe house, so we've got to be careful. We've got to almost kind of create a route home, and potentially what I could have done is Pont-Levenque, Doctor, and Rue Baradat the last time, but let's not worry about that right now. We also need to get a gun. We need to be thinking about getting a gun, and we have to deliver that gun on turns 3, 6, 9, 12, and 14. So we could potentially beat these 2 missions if things go our way by turn 3, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to go to Radio B because I want to show you what Radio B does. And then we'll also go to Rue Baradat, which I think makes the most... Oh, sorry. Before we do that, we can't go anywhere yet. Let's see where they patrol spawn. Okay, so they spawn in radio A. That's fine. And I believe the order of these cards, I think there's 3 of each on all. Like, so there's 3 radio A's that will spawn in all these cards, 3 Pont Levants. So if you were smart, you'd be watching, okay, well, radio B has shown up once. Radio A has shown up once. Poor District. Well, yeah, exactly. Like I said, if you were smart, you'd probably track those. But I'm not smart, so I won't worry too much about it. Now we're going to go to... Oh, yeah, we did say we were going to try and recruit somebody else. Let's try and recruit another person. So we'll go to the cafe and we'll spawn in another person here. They're going to Radio B. Now, so because we've already got a person on Radio B, we move down the list. So they're going to go to the grocer. Now, this is where things get risky. So he is now being blocked this way home. So if the next Maquis spawns in Black Market or potentially Poor District or potentially Pont Levant, he is going to get arrested and he will not be able to accomplish his mission. So we almost have to create a blocker here to see if we can almost predict where the next Maquis will spawn. One of these 3 spaces, there's a potential that he will spawn there. Now, it's hard to tell, but I'm going to go... Again, if you were... I don't know if you're allowed to look back through it, but I can see Black Market has been there twice. Black Market. Okay, so Black Market is probably... Maybe. Grocer is already there, so we can't do that one. Poor District has already been spawned. Black Market. It's a hard one to tell. So I'm going to make a guess that they're going to spawn at the Black Market. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see what happens. We won't worry too much about it. Okay, so Grocer is blocked. Poor District is the next one. So look, we've actually gotten 2 guys arrested now because they cannot get home. So herein lies the puzzle of this game, is trying to make sure that you're predicting where the Maquis will spawn and also trying to get everybody home again. Now, unfortunately, what we've done anyway, let's do a turn. So this guy's we're gonna pay our food. We've given some guy, we said, hey man, do you want to join the cause? Here, have a sandwich. There you go. So he's going to join our cause. Now, this guy can't get home this way, can't get home this way. He gets arrested and he is removed from the game permanently. So you cannot get that person back. Similarly, cannot get home, and therefore permanently arrested. And unfortunately, that's how brutal this game is. It is a serious little tricky puzzle when it comes to these things. And as the missions change as well, you're going to be playing with other factors. I haven't pointed out that the board itself has 3 of these spare rooms. So you can actually invest in upgrading, taking those spare rooms and adding different rooms that might help you. So you can add a propagandist, counterfeiters, maybe you need an extra safe house. You know, if you could invest in an extra safe house over there, that might be smart as well. So that's the end of turn 2. We progressed the turn tracker and we've only got 2 guys now, but because up here I haven't really pointed out, the morale tracker up here says on the start there's always 3 and it's always whatever's highest. If it's 3 here and we've only got 2, it's going to be 3. So we're kind of, we're in a little bit of trouble. We could do the same thing again. We could take a turn and invest in the grocer and get 1 more. We have 1 more person that we can recruit and that's it. There's no more recruiting after that. What I think we'll do is, I think we're actually just going to go for it. Let's see if we can intimidate the officer's mansion here. So we're going to go to Rue Barada. We're going to spawn the next patroller. Pont Levant. Oh, already they're cutting off my retreat. Okay, I am going to assume that we will be successful. So I'm going to send my guy to the officer's mansion. I'm going to assume that we will be successful. This guy is going to get home and we're going to complete this mission. So let's go again, shall we? Pont Levant, no. Black Market, oh no. We have been completely isolated from our safe house and we will not succeed. So this guy cannot make his way home this way. He will get arrested and he cannot make his way home this way. So we cannot get arrested. So I potentially have sort of rushed through this to kind of give you guys an idea as to how the game flows. I hope this has been a good insight into. Now, I did fail absolutely spectacularly. But I think this is a great little puzzly game. I'm really enjoying fiddling my way through it. I'd be honest with you, I haven't really tried much beyond the basic missions because it is a real challenge, and potentially I'm rushing. Potentially I'm trying to complete things too fast, and I should be using this time more. As the time progresses, morale decreases and more Maquis spawn in. We didn't cover the soldiers aspect. If you do manage to get a gun and there's a particular Maquis you want to get rid of, you can shoot them in the night. You can trade in a gun token and shoot them. However, then the soldiers start showing up and they cannot be removed from the board. So the game does have a nice sort of push and pull to it. If you think this game is for you, let me know in the comments down below. If not, why not? Is there a game like this that you're out there that you think I should try that's of a similar vein? And if you've made it this far in the video, make sure you've hit like, make sure you've hit subscribe, and thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.